Well, good afternoon and welcome to our How to Realize the Power of YouTube Marketing webinar. We're so glad you joined us today. My name is Rachel Dupen and I'm the Chamber Manager for the U.S. India Chamber of Commerce DFW. The U.S. India Chamber of Commerce DFW is a Dallas-Fort Worth-based 501c6 organization whose mission is to support professional, business, and economic development throughout North Texas and to facilitate bilateral trade with India. The Chamber's services include business consulting, networking and knowledge events, conferences, trade missions, and partnerships with academic institutions to promote learning opportunities about India. You can learn more at our website, which is at www.usicoc.org. And today we're here to discuss how to realize the power of YouTube marketing. And it's my pleasure to introduce you to our speakers. Kalyan Tirunelveli has over 20 years of experience in information technology, having had direct responsibility for global development and operation teams at various stages throughout his career for Hewlett-Packard, Electronic Data Systems, Sabre, and American Airlines. He brings this expertise in solving business pain points and execute IT solutions through a strong team of technical experts at To Arokia IT. We also have joining us Ananyaa Gautham, who is an experienced software professional with end-to-end implementations of enterprise solutions during her career at Nokia Networks, Texas RFID Center, and SAVR Communications. Ananyaa graduated with a master's in engineering from UT Arlington. She currently specializes in digital marketing, SEO, analytics, content marketing, and social media strategies. Ananyaa is also an aspiring Salesforce consultant. We are so glad you're both here with us today to teach us about how to use YouTube to make our businesses better. And so I'm going to turn it over to y'all so you can tell us what we need to know. Thank you for joining us.
Great. Thank you very much, Rachel. We really appreciate the opportunity to present this. So without much ado, I want to get started. So we're going to present about how to realize the power of YouTube marketing and give you some strategies on B2B and B2C. The broad agenda as such is going to be, we're going to talk about the hidden power of YouTube marketing. And then somehow give you some of the best practices to leverage YouTube for brand awareness. We're going to get into some nuances in B2B strategies, B2C strategies, and also share some of our experiences in doing the YouTube marketing. And we'll have some Q&A time in the end. So we look forward to your feedback and input, certainly in the end. So before I get into it, I wanted to kind of start off, okay, and I hope everybody had a great weekend. Finally, we had some good weather. So I'm sure you had a nice opportunity with your family, but I also want to kind of get to know, like, how many of you had chance probably go to YouTube this weekend or last week or something, but what was the purpose? Just want to get a poll from you. Like, I know there's many categories for YouTube, but broadly speaking, did you go for entertainment? Did you learn? I mean, is it for training or to learn something, or you had a product or a service related issue or something broke in your home and you had to go in and try to find how to do kind of a video from YouTube? So I wanted to take a quick poll. Ananyaa, if you don't mind, can you check the chat for that? We'll give like 10-15 seconds for people to enter their responses in the chat, please.
Sure, Kalyan. I am getting like few responses, so okay. All right, we'll give them probably 10 more seconds.
Okay.
If we could just type in either A, B, or C, even that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do have, okay, yeah, we do have a few more coming in.
Okay, yeah. So I know it's at lunchtime. I'm asking you this question, trying to kind of get you into the mood here. So I appreciate your input.
Yeah, so it's mostly A.
Mostly A. So there's no surprise there. So I wanted to kind of see how serious you guys are. So so here, yeah. So entertainment is the main driver for YouTube. There's no doubt about it. As you all know, YouTube was built on the entertainment platform, and be it Bollywood, or if you have kids, you have Peppa, or you have one of those kid videos that rhymes that you're constantly playing in your house, or it could be whatever, the SNL and the T series. This T series is one of the big channels that's out there. But in addition, I think you all sure appreciate that YouTube is the go-to place for learning as well. I mean, be it your kids trying to solve a math problem, or something they want to learn the concept behind a algebra, or you'd always head there. And then it could be a uh, TED talk or something about your hobby. I'm a tennis coach for my kids, so I constantly go there for tennis related stuff. Okay, how do you hit a 200 backhand? I mean, there's slow motion videos that you learn from, and there's no comparison in terms of the kind of things that you can get out of YouTube. The third aspect is something that we all see, that is in terms of you could have you probably are trying to buy a product, or it could be something about you want to do a comparison, or you could have an issue that you want to solve, and that tends to be one of the things that drives people to YouTube. So broadly speaking, I mean, this is just but if I look at the kind of a study that was done in 2020 for where uh, the YouTube, whatever the various categories are, the x-axis, the right side is the volume or the views, and obviously entertainment is big. Kids entertainment and the regular entertainment, music, that's what YouTube is built for. So it's a very high numbers there. But the y-axis is the growth. So you can see, even though business is in the lower spectrum of the views, it's still big, and the growth is the highest in the business side. So that's where we are seeing a sweet spot. That's where there is an opportunity space, and that's where again I emphasize on the hidden power of YouTube marketing for businesses. That's where there are opportunities that can be explored. So now wanted to kind of talk about the other aspect of YouTube. I mean, I don't know how many of you are familiar or think of YouTube as a search engine, but believe me, these are the 6 top search engines that are out there right now. It's no more Google and Yahoo and Bing anymore. These are the search engines that are right now. Of course, Baidu is China. It's mostly a search engine in China, but because of that thing, its volume is really high. So these are the top 6 search engines according to the studies right now. So I wanted to again take a quick poll here from you, and I want to see your thought, your guess in terms of where you think YouTube uh, would would be in the ranking. Obviously, I don't expect you to do one, because Google, nobody can beat Google, so it has to be between 2 to 6. So again, if you don't mind, go to the chat and enter a number between 2 to 6 where you think YouTube would rank as a search engine. Do your best guess here, and then Ananya, if you don't mind, just let me know the numbers. We'll give around 15 seconds for people to
Yeah.
respond to it.
Yeah, sure, Kalyan. Yeah. If you all can just go type a number between 2 to 6, where do you think YouTube ranks? I am getting a few responses, and I probably wait for a few more. Anybody else? I mean, anybody have an idea? Between 2 to 6, where do you think YouTube ranks? Okay. All right. I think, Kalyan, we have 2 here.
Oh, okay. 2. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have a
That
majority on 2.
majority. Okay. So that's okay. So they want to so Baidu is number 6 here. 5 is Bing. So 4 Facebook, and 3 Amazon. Yes, you're right. I think YouTube is number 2 as Google. But the interesting fact here is YouTube being number two, Google and YouTube are essentially, you can call them siblings, brothers or sisters, whatever you can call them, but they are one family, really. So there is a lot of interaction in these search engines that goes on. So if you're only focusing on Google, and not only YouTube is number two in ranking, you're also losing out on the opportunity that is available between Google and YouTube. So kind of want to give you a scenario here, instead of being abstract about this. Let me kind of give you a broad idea here. Like um, I was in the market. I mean, my old Lexus broke down, and I was looking for a obviously a Lexus, but I also had other brands in mind, Audi and other stuff. So I was okay. Uh, I would I was wanted to kind of basically want to go there. So I know my age group, the first thing we do is Google. I mean, my daughter probably would have gone directly to YouTube maybe, but I'm still old fashioned. So okay, let me look at Lexus. Uh, what would be the, I can find some reviews here. And then the first thing I find here is a video of the Lexus in YouTube. Okay, so that makes me, okay, click on it. And here is a guy who's giving a fantastic review of the car that I'm looking for, and with the video, with the experience of how this is. I mean, I'm now more inclined here towards the car with a by the presence of a video. So that's where this power lies. I mean, I can get into more examples like this, but and uh, the um, uh, the interaction really, it's a lot more broader, and that's something we'll get into more in depth when Ananya talks about B2B nuances and other things. But this is very generic, kind of give you an idea about how important it is for you to have a brand presence in YouTube, so that somebody is searching for something in Google, you have the appropriate stuff that are available that can take them to YouTube. What we also observed is, if you don't have a presence in YouTube, and somebody does a Google search of your product or something around that area, and then they find a competitor, or they could find a review that may not be positive for your brand, that again, you are ending up losing out. So it's very, very important that you have a proper YouTube presence here. So before I get into, again, I wanted to get your input here with the number of participants here. Do you want to get an idea of how many of you have a YouTube channel for your company, or for your company that you are representing? So I want to take a quick poll and see how many of you have a channel. So again, Ananya, if you can.
Sure. I see a few answers coming in.
Answers coming
So
in.
just let us know with a yes or a no.
A or B, yes or no, yes, anything.
Yeah.
If you are binary, it's 1 or 0.
Even if you don't have one, it's fine. We just need an answer. So probably give them a little more time.
Yes.
Yeah. We have a 50-50 response, Kalyan.
Oh, 50-50 response. So you can
Yeah.
go either way. Okay. So you have YouTube channel. Okay. So what I wanted to emphasize here is if you have a YouTube channel, great. I wanted to kind of get into how best you can leverage it with some of the tips and best practices we're going to share. But if you don't have a YouTube channel, I want you to kind of think in terms of what you can get out of it, and what is the I want to kind of help you with some of the tips that we give here to make it make it happen. It's not something, it's not a big elephant that you need to worry about. There are things that can be done that can scale this thing here. So in a broad spectrum, I think this is the digital marketing strategy for a typical company, how you want to grow traffic to your business, how you want to become get your brand out, and become more aware. So one of the, I mean, you have your SEO, you have your social media, which is typical, you have your email marketing, but video marketing is a key piece here. We talked about how the Google and YouTube interaction is critical, and that's where having videos, having a YouTube presence is going to help in this whole cycle. So one of the things that I keep hearing on this, whatever if it is a mental block here about having to do this thing, is about creating the video. Okay, well, is it some do I need to pay an expensive marketing agency to do this thing, and it's going to take me a month to do these videos? No, not really. There are several tips are here that you can be a minimalist. Just have your typical iPhone or Android latest phone, a tripod, and then uh, record yourself, record your employees, and then have something simple about your company that can be made using people. Or if you are a little bit sophisticated, I mean, you want to spend a little bit more, you could engage an agency, and there are good intro videos that you can start with, and then the essential part here is to find the initial kind of a process on how to create these videos. Once you have that thing in place, believe me, you can start creating more and more. It can be like a once a month or two videos a month that can talk about it could be about a tip about your product, or how or to solve a problem that many of your customers may be facing related to your business. So we'll get into it a little bit more based on B2B and B2C, but having that first step in terms of creating a video, establishing a process is key. I wanted to give you some examples of, okay, this is the kind of a little bit of a sophisticated intro video using an agency, some drones and stuff like that. But um, so once you have this thing ready, then so here we go. So yeah, so this is a little bit maybe having an agency and then some editing and stuff like that. But you could be a somewhat at a lower spectrum. Don't have to spend in having to take actual videos. There are simple animation tools that are available that using a simple storyboard. Let's say you want to convey some message to your clientele, and you can break it down the way you do a PPT. You can break it down into several aspects of it. So I want to show an example of a video that we did here in Arokia to talk about our mobile app uh, development. So yeah, so this is again the kind of video where you certainly don't have to think in terms of having to take many days or whatever. It's a software that is available with simple tools. You can get it up and running. But the third thing that will probably surprise you, most of you, if you're not aware of it, is you can take your existing PPTs. You must have prepared a PPT for as your sales deck, or you could have done some marketing campaigns. So you could take your existing PPT and simply convert them into videos. So I want to show you a quick example here of the PPT that I'm going through right now. Just had only 4 slides, didn't want to do the entire thing, but I just converted it into a video, and I can upload this into YouTube, and I can add some things to this thing, and then make it part of one of the videos that I can publicize. Okay. So that I hope that that kind of gives you an idea in terms of there's not a big mental block here about having to create a video. You start off with having some kind of a process, find your sweet spot, and then this is something that can be repeated. Um, so now I want to get into uh, what's going to make this video uh, kind of a spread, or have it the kind of ranking that you want it to be, that needs to be available for people. So the simple thing here, as far as the algorithm is concerned for YouTube ranking, is the video watch time. I mean, as simple as that. The more people are watching the entire video, you are able to engage them, that gives a score. And then obviously, if your video is able to keep them engaged and making them move to other videos, so that's also one more thing. And now obviously the view count, how many likes it has, how many times it's been shared. These are all the kind of the foundation for the video, and the kind of steps that you would have to do to make this kind of a video interesting is to have a proper video title, not just throw a video out there, but have kind of simple stuff that you can do. It should not take much time. We'll show you some of those things, but it's a question of making a video title properly, and then if you have some kind of a keyword in mind for your video to kind of propagate, make sure you use that file. The file name has that keyword. That's a kind of an inside secret of the YouTube stuff. So, and then description and comments and all this kind of stuff. Um, so now we want to kind of go into what would be the kind of a step-by-step process that would follow. I mean, to kind of be kind of breaking it down into several steps, so to make this thing easier, and also kind of make aware of the whole YouTube spectrum here. So the first aspect here is um, the channel management. So the channel cover is a really important aspect of the whole YouTube channel management. It needs to be something that present properly, almost like your landing page or the home page of your website. That's an important piece that cannot be ignored. And also you have ability to look at the statistics of how many people have visited your videos, and there are a lot of good information that you can gather from there. So we'll get into it when we do the case study. Ananyaa will talk about some of the things that can be done. So in terms of the cover, we want to give you an example of the kind of thing, what exactly you would see as your YouTube when talking about channel management. So here we have this YouTube channel. These are all the videos that they have uploaded, but the playlist, I'm sure you're aware about the playlist, and that's something that you could create if you have a specific set of videos talking about a certain aspect here. You can make some power playlists that will make people, or the people who visit there, engaged. The other aspect that is very critical, probably not very well aware about this thing, is there is a community. There is a community for this channel, obviously the more subscribers you have, the more you can engage them through this community. So you may be a B2B or B2C. Essentially, if you are a kind of a B2B kind of a company, you certainly would have a loyal customers who are using your product, and this is an opportunity to engage them through regular small videos or even updates that you can give them, or some tips. So this is where this kind of a community will help, and obviously this is where they can start sharing this with some of their friends or some of the other companions or whatever. So that way your brand awareness can grow. So the other aspect from there, now that you have a video, you started making a video, you have a channel, there are some low-hanging fruits, not so difficult, but at the same time important stuff that you can do to that video that you have created that will enhance, or that will make that video a lot more, what do you call that, shared and views and other stuff. So that's the what I'm going to talk about. These are the they're called in video sectioning intro cards. So I want to take this example here of this video here. So basically what you're seeing here is the video starts with the intro, talks about what it is about. And then if you see here, the video is broken into several sections. This is called in video sectioning, and that's something that you can do pretty straightforward. And in addition to it, you could have this thing in your description. So these are all the things that YouTube provides that you can use, and you could have it various timeline of where where you're going to talk about certain aspects in the video. So if you have a video that is, let's say, 15 minutes long, you can break it down into several pieces and give them a title in between. So what this does is, first and foremost, with a title like this, it will help in the SEO. Let's say somebody is typing in calendar spread entry or something specific about the title. This will be one of the terms that would rank, and that may bring them to this video. So that is number one. Number two is, uh, remember this video that I had gone to the Lexus and then was looking for something. So imagine I'm going back here, and then I'm now concerned about the safety aspect of the car. So here, when I'm going to this video, in Google itself, it has sectioned this video into various parts. So if I want to know about the engine, I would click here. If I want to know about the safety, I would just click here, and I don't have to watch the entire video. It is taking me to the right spot where I need to be. So that's where um, you could take your video and make these adjustments. So that way you can use the power and the tools that it has. The third aspect is, okay, now you have some videos. Uh, it's important for you to see what kind of keywords would be the best that can be applied to some of these videos. So here you could have what you think as the appropriate, based on what you're talking about the video. These are some of the keywords that are applicable to those videos, and then you can target some specific keywords among that, and then you could do specific activities around it. So that would make this video, for example, here, these are some of the videos where this specific keyword, point and figure, or rank or chart analysis, whatever, it comes in the top when it goes into that. In addition to that, in terms of promotion and ranking, you could use your existing social media. You can use your website. Basically, the great thing about having a YouTube video is it helps both sides. You could take the video that you have created, and you can have like a video section in your website where you can embed all these videos. Google gives high ranking for having videos in your site. And similarly, if you are if you have your Twitter, you have your LinkedIn and Facebook and all those channels, whenever you are about to release the videos, you can leverage them to kind of propagate the videos. So in addition to that, the other aspect of the Google about YouTube is there is also advertising. So you could, I'm sure you must have encountered some of these ads. Some of them are really nagging ads that you are in middle of something and you're watching something and then it makes you watch an ad. Um, the good thing about these ads for your brand is they're not as expensive as Google AdWords. It really reaches some niche audience, and the chances of conversion is also pretty high because it is like a TV ad at the end of the day. You are able to kind of get in front of person and get your brand shown there uh, while they're watching, let's say, entertainment. So you're kind of getting them at a point where they'll be able to see that. So there are several YouTube ad formats that are available. I'm sure you must have seen some of these things. They display ads. Let's say somebody is typing a keyword like Ayurveda, support, or something like that. So then you can have your um, uh, YouTube video as one of the ads that can come up there, and then there are so so this is a very interesting study that kind of shows the cost aspect of the ads. So if the top part is the average cost by industry for a Google ad. Let's say I've taken the consumer services here, of a typical, or you can do the B2B, yeah. So a typical or the average cost for Google AdWords is for the consumer service around 377, whereas a YouTube ad would come to around 69 cents. This is per click. And the interesting part about the YouTube click is if they skip the ad, it does not count. If they watch the ad, then you will be charged 69 cents. So it's actually it is a lot more cost effective and also gets good audience for you. So now that we have the entire thing, done you have done the video, you have done the in video sectioning, you're ready with your social media, you're ready with your embedding in your website. The first 24 hours is crucial. When you have your video ready, it's like the baby is born. You are now ready to announce to the world. You have to do your homework, get everything ready, and you can use your social media, you can use your email marketing, whatever email list, and to kind of get that thing out, because the more views you get in the first 24 hours, the better the chance of this video coming up in searches and having that ability. So now that we talked about the best practices, what we do in terms of YouTube marketing, we'll get a little bit into the nuance of B2B B2B YouTube marketing and B2C YouTube marketing. Uh, as you all know, B2B and B2C are totally different in terms of the conversion scale and then the kind of consumer, like the customers that you are engaged. B2B tends to be, they tend to be like repeat customers. They're not instinctive buyers. They tend to kind of do a little bit of a study, compare, and then come to a conclusion. But once they are in, they are in. They are with you. They become loyal, and it becomes really important to kind of have the trust built with them for the B2Bs. Obviously, trust is important in both B2B and B2Cs. I'm not saying, but it's important that you carry on the relationship with your B2B customers, and then keep them engaged. So that's where your branding videos, but that's where your how-to videos or tips videos and those things come into play, very important. So I'll kind of want, if you remember, Ananyaa, you also kind of provide your input about B2B marketing. You've done some real good work here.
Sure, sure, Kalyan. Yeah, so B2B marketing can be classified, I mean, into three different things. So three different types of videos. One are lead conversion videos, customer retention, and brand awareness videos. We all know that B2B is a lot about brand awareness, pushing your brand through. And like Kalyan was mentioning, if you have a client, it's pretty much the client does their research and then gets on a board. And once they get aboard, they're fully on board. So these are a loyal set of clients that you're dealing with. So you have to make sure that you have your customer retention videos, which are mostly your educational videos. So let's say you have a product and you have a list of troubleshooting videos and tips, on how to use your products. So these are the videos that your clients are going to repeatedly go into and take a look. So that is an area that you'd want to actually focus on. And mostly your lead to conversion videos, and these are the videos that actually enhance your relationship with clients. And like Kalyan was mentioning, please use the community tab on the YouTube to engage with your loyal subscriber base, because those are the people who are actually waiting for your next video release. So yeah, this is something that's very important. And yeah,
Yeah,
next.
thanks, Ananyaa.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, this is also one more aspect that we talk about, Ananya. So in terms of the kind of videos and stuff. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So the main goal in any sort of marketing is to convert your prospects into your clients. So generally for B2B, your shorter the video, the reach is way better. Short videos work better because most of your decision makers do not have time to watch a 30-minute video. So if you can limit your videos within 5 minutes, so that's going to capture your client way better than a 30-minute video. And every company out there has a website, and they have a presence on Google. So one thing that companies tend to miss out on is Google usually transfers all its insights into YouTube. So it would only complement. So presence in YouTube would actually complement your website presence. So because Google transfers its insights on YouTube, if you have a good website traffic flow, you're pretty much guaranteed to have a pretty good YouTube traffic flow as well. So I'd like to emphasize this specifically for B2Bs here. And most B2Bs tend to focus on branding, and there is no other presence other than YouTube that's going to help push your brand forward. And it's going to help you engage with your audience. And this also contributes to a lot of relationship building with your clients as well. So brand awareness, YouTube, they both go together.
Okay, Ananya, thank you
Sure.
so much. Thank you.
Sure, Kalyan.
So
Yeah.
so now we're going to the next slide. So I know it's around 12:40. I hope everybody is awake, and I wanted to have one more quick kind of a poll here before we get into B2C. So we talked about the power of YouTube marketing so far. I hope you are convinced with the kind of ability that it has, the leverage that you can have. We want to kind of get your input about this poll, I mean, this study from Forbes. What percentage of consumers are more likely to buy a product online after watching a video? So if you don't mind, make a best guess. It is small, medium, large in terms of ABC. So let me know your input. What do you think is the percentage of customers, according to Forbes, likely to buy a product online after watching a video? And yeah, we can give like
Sure, Kalyan.
15
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah, we'll just give you some time. So between A, B, and C, if you can type in an answer. Yeah, I'm getting a few answers. So
Okay.
please go on. Go ahead. Take your best guess, and we can take it from there.
So if I say I can give you a find 1,000 prize for the right answer, I wish I can.
Yeah. Could I get a few more answers? Anybody, just take your best guess. Mm, yeah, most people are going into A, Kalyan.
Oh, A.
40 A, yeah,
Wow,
40%.
wow, surprise. Okay. So it's actually C, 75%. According to Forbes study, it is
Oh, that's a lot.
75%. Yeah, so that's the kind of ability that you have with the videos. So I want to kind of, when we talk about B2C, I want to kind of show you a sample video of a B2C. But at the same time, one thing about B2C that is important when you're doing videos is it's important that you engage your prospects through what they want, trying to solve a problem for them, or at least kind of see how you can help them, and then get them know about your brand, and then gently nudge them towards your website or your stuff. So I'm sure you must have seen some of the videos. I've gone to like I said, I'm a te- tennis coach, so I go ahead and see a video, like a 2-minute video about a stroke, and in the end he will say, I have more stuff like this on my site, you should visit the site. And then I go there, and then he'll say, okay, this 9.99. Anyway, I mean, so I'm not saying that to that extent, but you would have to create a video where you kind of solving a problem, and kind of getting him more aware of this thing. So here I will show an example of a Ayurveda. Uh, uh, this is a Banyan Botanicals. They sell all kind of Ayurveda medicines and Ayurveda stuff. So, but if you see any of their YouTube videos, it talks about so I'm not going to the entire thing, but without really getting into trying to sell anything here, they talk about how it's going to help you, and that is the kind of thing. So if you have a business, a B2C kind of a business, I'm sorry, yeah, let me close this thing here. So that's an ad, as you can see. So it's very important that first and foremost you make your brand aware. You have some educational centric kind of a videos, and then you can have you can talk about your products in a way where they become aware, or they can see for themselves. But the important aspect here is to provide information, to provide solutions, and then get them to kind of build the trust, and then able to go to your website, and or obviously in YouTube they can't buy anything, but they become aware of it, and then they can go to your site, or they can engage you in doing the stuff. So Ananya, do you have any input on this one?
No, Kalyania, that's
Okay,
that's
that's
about it. Yeah.
yeah. So now we'll get into our experience part, and this is where I'll go ahead and pass it on to Ananya. She has done really good work with some of our YouTube marketing clients, but this is one of the examples that we can kind of show you all the stuff that we have talked about, how we can leverage it towards increasing the subscribers, engaging, and then making it a successful kind of engagement. Yeah, Ananya, go ahead.
Yeah, sure, Kalyan, thanks. Yeah, so this is actually one of our clients, and we did their entire YouTube marketing. So what we basically handled for them was we managed their channel and all their social media promotions, do video promotions, third-party marketing, and SEO, ranking, and optimization, everything. So we basically took care of all this. And can we move on to the next slide?
Sure.
Yeah. So what you see in the top left-hand side is their community page. So we actually took care of that also. So we had an active engagement with their subscriber base. So constantly, or probably on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis, we post these sort of creatives. I mean, on like upcoming videos, past videos, most popular videos, and we also post polls on the community page to see what our audience wants from us. So probably they'd want to see a video on the next trading topic, or probably they'd want to see a video on something else. So this is something that we actively engage. So this is a very important part of YouTube marketing that kind of gets neglected a little bit. So that's the reason I'm focusing on this here. And here on the top right is our promotions on the social media, on all their social media channels, and on our social media channels as well, and also on like third-party websites. We go ahead and create a lot of backlinks. Backlinks are basically what we do is just like Kalyan was saying, the first 24 hours are like the first 24 hours is the secret. So you hammer all your marketing channels within the first 24 hours, and you're pretty much going to have a decent number of views there. So this is something that we do. We also create a lot of backlinks. That backlinks are basically promoting your video on third-party websites that is going to direct them back to your YouTube channel. And the picture on the bottom is basically the ranking. So this is a bit of the technical aspect of what we do, the SEO and the ranking. So we filter out keywords from the video, and based on the popularity of the keyword, the high volume search of particular keyword, we try to rank your videos on the first page of YouTube. We all know that not many people click through several pages in order to watch a video. It's probably either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, the top 5 from your search result is what you're going to click on and view. So we make sure that for a particular high volume search keyword, we make sure that your video ranks, within the first page of YouTube. And can we move on to the
Next one.
Yeah, so this is also another technical aspect of what we do. We do a lot of data analysis. So this is kind of behind the screens, what happens behind a video. So once a video gets published, and I mean, we get all this data from your YouTube studio. And what do you do with the data? The data is only just as good as what you can do with it. So what we do with our data here is that we do a lot of comparison as to which video attracted the most views, which video had the most subscribers, which video was the most popular, was the most trending. So we do a lot of analysis here, and and um, and we kind of give the feedback back to the client so that they can create similar videos. Is it the subscriber base that you're looking at? Is it the number of views that you want? So depending on the client needs, we actually provide feedback and release more videos based on what the client needs. So this dashboard and the comparison drawn here is actually very, very important based on how your video performs. And
Thanks,
can we move
Ananya.
on? Yeah,
Okay.
sure, Kalyan. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, in a nutshell, I mean, now talked about the entire thing. In a nutshell, YouTube marketing, I would say, is one of those low-hanging fruits that can be leveraged with not. I mean, I would say minimum effort, but the effort wise, it's not as huge as people tend to think, but the gains are pretty high. We talked about the Google, YouTube, the kind of interaction that can be leveraged, and the fact that video is something that can be seen and builds the kind of a eyeball related trust between your customer and your brand. And then in addition to all those things, the videos, the collateral that you're creating, the sales collateral that you're creating is something that you can leverage on your website. It can be something, tomorrow if somebody sends an email saying that I'm having trouble with something, you don't have to kind of give a long explanation about how to solve the problem. If you already have a video, all you do is go to the YouTube, take that thing and send a link to them, and you are engaging with your customers. So there are so many benefits that can be leveraged. So I hope I was able to convince you all with uh, that the power of YouTube marketing through this webinar. So we're ready. If you have any questions, we're more than happy to answer anything at this point.
Thank you so much, Ananyaa and Kalyan. That was great information. If you have particular questions you want answered, we've got 7 minutes, so we can do that. Go ahead and put your question in the chat box, and I will moderate it from there. I had a question watching, particularly if you have a service-based, you're in the service-based industry, so you don't have a product per se. You know,
Exactly.
like say I'm an accountant. Like I'm going to sell my accounting services, but I don't have, you know, I don't have my car to show you. So what kind of videos should I be creating in order to reach a market for services?
Yeah, that's a great question, Rachel. That's the kind of thing that we see a lot here is service aspect. If you're an accountant, that's actually a great um, opportunity there that you have. You could talk about the new tax policy that has come in there. You could give them information about. It can be a short video about a new tax policy, or it could be about, for example, most of the people here, I believe, are have their connections to India. So you could talk about something about India, USA, kind of a tax question, or there are several things that you can do. But the first step would be to have something where you are able to present yourself, you are able to introduce yourself, and for a somebody like an accountant, a good presence using a YouTube would be very important. You could have a short video, talk about that you are trustworthy, and you have several clientels. It can be a short, like I said, less than a minute kind of a thing that can start off, and then you could constantly have some updates and new videos like that. Yeah.
So when you were saying like I could talk about tax policy, so that'd be more like making an educational video?
Education video, that's
Okay.
exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, so you can talk about of course you would have to make sure that it is within compliance and all those kind of stuff, so you have to be very careful, obviously, and you know the aspect. But it can be something that easy for people to understand and help them in kind of navigating through that.
Thank you. That was
Sure.
helpful.
Mhm.
Go ahead and type in your questions if you have them. Another question, if, I noticed that you can segment out your those breaks and putting in the videos
Sure.
you were talking about. Would you also create shorter videos that have just those segments, or is it best to leave the video whole and then just have like the separate links?
That's a
What would
great
you do
question.
there?
I think it all depends on how much, what kind of time you have. See, for example, if the entire video is really important, if people need to watch the entire video, and if I take that Lexus example into consideration,
Mhm.
um, the entire video is important there because he's starting from the start and then he's going into different aspect of that video. But still, if you are able to extract it out, we have done that to some of our clients. Where they would do a webinar about a big topic, and they would cover several things. We would break it down, and then we take okay, this 3 minutes is great information. Let's take it out, and then we give it a separate different title altogether, and then promote that as a separate video. Yeah, so you have that option as well, but it involves a little bit more work in having to go in, edit and stuff. But still, it is good stuff that can be done.
Okay. If you have any questions, now is the time to put it in. I do see a question about the presentation itself, and we are recording the presentation, and eventually it will be up on Chambers YouTube. So you'll have a chance to go back and refresh and listen to it again when you need to refresh. So that will answer your question, hopefully. Are there any other questions from our audience? I'm not seeing new questions. So let's do some concluding thoughts. So like, what would be like your one tip to people trying to get started? Let's just say they don't even have a YouTube channel yet. What's your one tip to get going? And we'll conclude with that.
I would say be a minimalist, because that's the biggest stumbling block I see. I know we have given a lot of information, but the first step is to make that first video. I personally felt having to record and do the stuff, it's always it's so you could use some kind of a simple storyboard and do that kind of an animation. Or if you're the kind of person that is easy for you, just have your laptop in front of you, talk in front, make a short video, introduce yourself, and then make a good kind of a presentation. And there are several software out there to edit it, but make that first video, and it's very simple. Thank you.
Thank you. Ananyaa, did you have any thoughts you wanted to add on that, or?
Sure. There was actually a friend of mine who was very hesitant to start a YouTube channel, and then she actually went ahead. It's actually very simple, as simple as you could probably create a Zoom link and create a presentation of you talking. That's all it takes for your first video. That's all it takes. Or probably download a screen recording software and record whatever you do on screen, and you can post that. So that's another thing. So there are small things. That you can do to get started. So but the major thing is to just get the first video out, and like once you get into the zone, without when you realizing, you'll be there. You'll probably have 15-20 videos right out there. So yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for sharing your expertise with us. We really appreciate you taking the time to do that. And for our audience, if you'd like to get in touch with them and maybe use their expertise for your business, go ahead and send me an email, or you can go to their website. I'm happy to connect you, or you can use the email on the screen. But the Chamber's email is info@usicoc.org, and we can also connect you. Thank you again so much for coming. Thank you for our presenters, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you very much, Rachel.
Thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot,
Ananyaa.
Rachel.
Thanks everybody for joining.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ariel.
Thank you, Kalyan. Thanks everybody for joining. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.